So I have seen two 3D films in the cinema this year. One being Life of Pi, brilliant, excellent, and the second one being Texas Chainsaw 3D. Hello, so today I'm reviewing Texas Chainsaw 3D, and the storyline of Texas Chainsaw 3D is a young woman travels to Texas to collect an inheritance. Little does she know that an encounter with a chainsaw welding killer is part of the reward. No, this was stupid. So this is a direct sequel to Texas Chainsaw, even though we've had 3 sequels before. We've had Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 that I liked. I liked Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, it was fun, it was silly, but it was still a sequel, and this one apparently being a direct sequel was just stupid. Now this film is meant to be set in 1974, when it starts, not the whole film, just when it starts, it's set in 1974, you see the original house, you see Leatherface inside, he's still wearing the mask from the original film, but there's a lot more people inside the house. You've got Bill Moseley, you've got the original guy that played Leatherface, I forgot his name. Bill Moseley comes out, he's not playing Chop Top, which he plays in Part 2, he just walks out, he's meant to be the original dad. He walks out and he's like, get off my property, and then the whole house gets burnt down and Molotov cocktails get thrown through the house. This family come along who also hate Leatherface, who have had people killed in their family, and they come along and just throw things through the window. The whole family gets set on fire, but Leatherface somehow escapes, and there's also a mum that escapes, but she's got a child, and one of the people goes and steals the child. And this is where this film just pissed me off completely. Now last year we got The Devil Inside in January, and that was a film that was like a massive fuck you to the audience with the ending, and this year we get Texas Chainsaw 3D, and this film's like a massive fuck you to the audience again. It's like a massive fuck you, audience, you are unintelligent. That's what the writers and the director thought with this film. No, the audience are not unintelligent, because this film was completely and utterly shit and stupid, because this little baby that gets taken away from this mum, then years later when this girl gets the inheritance from her grandma, who just sends her there and sends this letter to her saying, oh, you've got the inheritance, and the girl's like, I didn't even know I had a grandma, because grandma's surname is Sawyer, that's what the Leatherface family was and everything. And then she goes back to the parents that stole her, and she's like, why didn't you tell me that I was taken and everything? They're like, we gave you a better life, that family were messed up. This is where the film pissed me off, because that is meant to be set in 1974. Some people have been thinking that this film is set in 1990, but if you look at Graveyard at one point, it says 2020 on it. When the grandma died, it says died 2012, I mean. It says that the grandma died 2012. Yes, the grandma died 2012. So this would mean this young girl here that is meant to be looking 20, in her 20s, would actually be 39. If she was born in 1974, and it's meant to be years later, and if it's 2012 on that gravestone, then she is 39, and this film was just fucking stupid. You think the audience are unintelligent? No, just that's where the film just pissed me off. Now it did some, yeah, it's got the cameos, yeah, this Toby Hooper's got his name in there at one point, he's meant to be Sheriff Hooper, but this film was just fucking shit. It pissed me off to the max. I found myself laughing at this film more than taking it seriously, because everyone was just stupid. It was hilarious at points. Like this girl just found out, oh, my grandma died today. And this guy was meant to be Trey Songz. His song even plays in the film. Trey Songz is a rapper, and his own song plays in the film at one point. Seriously. When the girl tells, oh, my grandma died today, he's like, oh, sorry to hear that. But the most, just no emotion or anything. The acting was shit in this. This film should not have been made, but oh, it's made 20 million already in its first week in America. That means we're going to get what they originally planned to do, a trilogy. They originally planned to do a trilogy where it was set in a hospital, and then it was after the events in the hospital, and the third one was going to be even more events. But they were like, no, people won't really like that, so we're going to do a direct sequel and give them this shit. So some people have somehow liked this, but this film is just horrible. After The Cabin in the Woods, you cannot make a film like this. There's scenes in this that were just completely predictable. There's scenes where a girl trips over and you're like, oh come on, get back up. She then runs and then trips again and just drags herself across the floor. And here's one of the worst quotes in the film. Sorry, I'm going to spoil the film for you. Yeah, you already know this girl is part of the Sawyer family and everything. She bumps into Leatherface, and Leatherface finds out that she's the cousin. She throws the chainsaw at Leatherface, throws the chainsaw in his hand and says, do your thing, cuz. No one should have to sit through this film. No one should go and see this film. No one should just give any money to this film. Don't go and see this piece of shit that is unintelligent, one of the worst horrors in a very long time. I've got hot from ranting. I have not been this angry at films since The Devil Inside, or Chernobyl Diaries, or Storage 24. I have not been that angry at a film in a long time. I'm going to moan about the 3D gimmicks now. This film, I took off the 3D glasses at points. The film was completely clear. There wasn't any 3D. Maybe the things in the background were a bit blurry to make it 3D, but the 3D gimmicks in this were bullshit. It's only to have Leatherface go at the thing and put it towards you and just... it's bullshit. It was only to have Leatherface put a chainsaw through a coffin at one point, put a chainsaw towards the screen, and the most hilarious part is he throws his chainsaw through the air. It does like a load of spins and comes towards a policeman, and the audience probably like, oh! Now with the 3D gimmick, it just pisses me off now, because I remember when My Bloody Valentine was first released, and that was the first time we probably had like a horror 3D. Now we'd had 3D films before, but I remember going to see this. There was 3 guys sat in front of me, and when the pickaxe came at the screen, they were like, oh! Now you can't do this shit. 3D is just shit now. Life of Pi did 3D well, but this film was just a shitty 3D gimmick, and this film has just pissed me off to the max. I'm sorry for this long review, but this film is going to get a 1 out of 10, or even a 0.5 out of 10 from me, because this film is horrible. It did some cameos, it did some little things to the old. We even begin with footage from the old film, but this is an insult to the original. If you're going to say it's a direct sequel, then piss off. This film just had me laughing more than taking it seriously, because it was shit. Texas Chainsaw 3D, the shittest film of the year. If when this gets released on DVD, then I hope who's making the DVD cover puts that on there, because no one should have to sit through this film. It is horrible. I don't know why they removed Massacre from the name as well, because when I see Texas Chainsaw 3D, this film could be about a family in Texas that owned a chainsaw shop. Come to think of it, that would be a better film. Yeah, this film's shit. I'm out. Well, that's an angry review. Just had to tell everyone how shit this film is. Do not go and see Texas Chainsaw 3D. You will regret it. Save your money for something better.